Hey, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to go over another investment strategy that's been pretty popular the past couple years called real estate crowdfunding and REITs, Fundrise. So this is one of the platforms I recommend if you wanted to get into real estate crowdfunding. So I've been on here, I want to say maybe less than a year. I put in about $1,000 just to start with because this was so new. I mean, these crowdfunding sites literally just started popping up maybe one or two or at 3 years most. So they're brand new. So I put in about $1,000 into this, and you can see I made about almost $115. So that's what, like a little bit, like 11.5% return, which is pretty good. I mean, considering just the stock market averages, 6 to maybe 8%, depending on how the economy and the stock market's doing. Whereas this is giving me, almost like 11.5% return. And it's pretty stable too. You can see, the growth chart here, because you're basically buying real estate property and you're collecting the proceeds from that. And how this works is they basically pay out once a quarter, so 4 times a year. So you put money in, they'll tell you kind of how it's invested, and even the properties. Like here it shows you 20% of my portfolio is this apartment complex in LA. Then 9% of my portfolio is this apartment complex in Washington, D.C. And it literally shows you the exact buildings and the exact apartments that you're buying into. And what's cool is you're not just buying into one. So, if the place burns down or, all the tenants leave, you don't have to worry about losing all your money. So you're spreading it through all these different, multi-tenant buildings, which lowers the risk too, right? And they give you the option to select buildings too. So, if you just want to invest in LA, or if you just want to invest in, Washington, D.C., you can do that and actually select the buildings that you want. Me personally, I kind of just let them take care of it. I have it set up on kind of an auto invest. I don't want to do all the research. That's one of the reasons why I'm using these crowdfunding websites, is because I don't want to, do all the the research into these buildings, and what's the profit, and what's the neighborhood like, are there people moving in, are there people moving out, what's the employment rate like, what's the retention rate like of the tenants, that sort of thing. So that's a lot of work, and that's one of the reasons why these platforms are so cool. Is you can just say, hey, I want to invest $1,000, and you can kind of tell your risk is like, I want to be really risky, I want to be a little lower risk, and then they go and do all the work for you. So they find the apartment complexes, and then they basically diversify your portfolio into these different buildings, which is pretty neat. But and if you do want to actually look into the buildings yourself, you can go and just buy one apartment building in LA, or buy multiple apartment buildings in LA. They give you that option. So Fundrise is pretty neat. I have reinvestment enabled. I like to compound everything. I'm not, but if you need the money quick, like I said, they pay out once a quarter, so you can get basically 4 paychecks a year from this, and I'm averaging at about 11% return. I'll put the link down below in the video description to sign up for Fundrise. It's pretty easy. You sign up, you transfer some money over from your bank, and you can have the option to select the buildings or the area that you want, or just set it up on auto and just let them take care of everything, and go from there. I would, unless you really want to look into buildings and do all that research, I would recommend having them do the work for you. Just put the money in, tell them how risky you want to get, and go from there. And then obviously enable reinvestment if you want that to, if that interest to compound. So anyways, this is Fundrise. I like it. It's pretty good. It's one of the original websites for crowdfunding. So they've been around the longest, or at least in the top three of being around the longest for these platforms. So I would recommend this.
Alright guys, so here we are inside of my Fundrise portfolio, and the first thing I want to show you here is just how the contributions to this portfolio have changed. So as you can see here, I have been investing in Fundrise since June of 2018, and I started off with an initial investment here of $1,000, and I must have earned some dividends or appreciation there because the first dollar amount on the chart here is $1,006.39. So from that point up until April, I left that $1,000 in there, and that grew to a value of $1,059.19. Now at that point in time, since I was more comfortable with the platform, having invested for a number of months, I decided to scale up my investment and go from $1,000 up to $5,000 in April of 2019. And then I essentially left that $5,000 there, didn't touch it, didn't add any more money. So then we fast forward to this point here where I was up to a value of about $5,370, somewhere around there. And now, since I have been investing in this platform for a year and a half, I've decided to begin investing $1,000 twice a month on the 1st and the 15th. So I will be contributing $2,000 per month into this Fundrise portfolio. So the first $1,000 hit my account here in the end of January, and then obviously February 1st, February 15th, and then every 1st and the 15th of months going forward, I will be doing an additional $1,000 into this portfolio, which is $24,000 per year, and that is a pretty substantial amount of money to be investing in any given investment out there. But as I'm sure you guys see, I make a lot of passive income on my channel, and so I try to direct that money into buying other assets, and I like to be well diversified across, physical real estate, passive real estate, the stock market, and even cryptocurrency as well. And at some point in the near future, I will be revealing my cryptocurrency portfolio for you guys as well, since that was very heavily requested. Now, as far as the different investment plans out there, I am personally in the balanced investing plan, which is going to be a blend of both growth and income. And if we click over to the portfolio tab here, it's going to tell me about my portfolio. So essentially what happens when you invest in Fundrise is you're purchasing shares of what is called an E-REIT, and there's also something else called an E-Fund, and these are non-traded. So these do not trade on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. They are a private REIT, and therefore you can only buy and sell them through the Fundrise platform. Now that is something you do have to be comfortable with and familiar with as a private real estate investor, is that liquidity here is not guaranteed with Fundrise, and that is largely because your money is being used for actual real estate projects just like these right here. Within my portfolio, I have 188 active projects. Over here you can see what the risk spread is of these different projects. And right now I'm in a 40% debt, 60% equity split based on my portfolio. So Fundrise does offer a quarterly redemption period where you can sell your shares of your REITs that you own within this portfolio, but liquidity is not guaranteed. And Fundrise says right on their website, you should have a minimum time horizon of 5 years before you invest. And if you do cash out early, there may be some fees incurred with cashing out. So if you're on the fence about it, or if you're a short-term investor, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. This is not going to be the option for you. But if you are more of a long-term investor and you're looking to diversify outside of the stock market, personally, I have found it to be a very interesting investment, and I have been very happy so far. Now, as far as the portfolios go here, guys, you have basically four different options. Number one, you have the starter portfolio with a $500 minimum, or you have the advanced portfolios that have a $1,000 minimum, and then you have a growth-oriented portfolio, an income-oriented portfolio, and then the balanced one, which is right in the middle. That is the one I am invested in. And in every portfolio, you have these different projects, and Fundrise will be sending you updates via email on these projects when ones are completed or whatever happens, or if there's any sales involved. And you can click on every single project and learn about what is going on, what is the money being used for, as well as, the risk rating, how much money is invested, is this debt or equity, and then your projected annual return. And you can get a lot of information on each one of these projects. It all depends on how deep you want to go with this investment. If you want to be totally passive, you can just set it and forget it and give Fundrise your money for them to invest on your behalf. Or you can scour through each one of these projects just to understand what your money is invested in. Now, that being said, the only option through Fundrise is to invest in portfolios, meaning you can't pick and choose individual real estate projects to invest in. One of the main reasons for that is because if they were allowing people to pick and choose individual projects, that would be considered a private placement, and you would have to be an accredited investor. Because of the portfolio-based investing, you do not need to be an accredited investor to invest with Fundrise. So that being said, guys, now what I want to do is jump over and look at the performance of my portfolio over the last 18 months. All right, guys, so what we are looking at here is the returns from my Fundrise portfolio after fees, and we're looking at the percentages, and then we will look at the dollar amount. So as you guys know, in 2018, that was a partial year for me, as I only began investing basically in the month of July. That money hit my account, and in those last 6 months of 2018, I earned a return of 4.3%. In 2019, I earned an overall return of 7.7%, and all time I'm at 7.7. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, wait a second, the stock market did a lot better in 2019 than my Fundrise investment, but at the end of the day, I don't want to be fully involved with the stock market, because what will be really interesting to see is how my Fundrise investment performs during a bad time in the stock market when we either have a recession or some kind of bear market. It'll be interesting to see what the return is like, and that is why people invest in different asset classes. They'll invest in bonds and gold and stocks and physical real estate, because you just don't want to have all of your eggs in one basket. Now, as far as the dollar value, in 2018, I had $1,000 invested for half the year. I made $43.89. In 2019, I made $311.54. 2020, I made $19.39. And it can break it down and show you based on the different REITs. And if you want to look at the percentages, what ones return the most, obviously the growth REITs are going to be more substantial. So you can be really granular with the data here if you want to. Or you can just look at the overall big picture of your overall portfolio return. So as I'm sure you guys can imagine here, these returns and dividends earned are based on a relatively small account value here of $5,000. Now that I'm putting $2,000 in here every single month, that's going to be putting this account to probably about $30,000 by this time next year. So then the dividends and the growth of the portfolio is going to be a lot more substantial. So I'm definitely excited for that. One other thing I want to show you guys here, if we go to transactions, you can see where my auto invest is right here, $1,000 on the 15th, and it's going to be $1,000 on the 1st and 15th of every month. And you can also see where I'm earning my dividends every single quarter. And what I'm doing is taking advantage of the auto invest feature. So as soon as I earn a dividend in this portfolio, as you can see right here, $60.05 for quarter 3 2019, automatically reinvested that dividend back into my portfolio. This is offered for free. You do pay your Fundrise fees, which we'll talk about in a second here, but the auto invest feature itself has no fees associated with it for using it, meaning you can automatically reinvest those dividends to earn that compound interest. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here is the fees associated with Fundrise. They have a very transparent fee structure, which is all in 1% per year based on the value of your account, or a 1% annual asset management fee. A lot of these different sites out there for crowdfunded real estate have different structures, and a lot of them are not very transparent about the fees they are charging. So I really like Fundrise because they tell you flat out what your fees are, and they're also not burying it, in like the 5th page of some document. Right on the home page of your portfolio, you can see your returns to date, and down here it shows you what you've earned from dividends, what you've earned from asset appreciation, and exactly how much money you paid in advisory fees. So they're very transparent about that fee structure, and obviously, guys, looking at my performance here, these returns are what I actually earned after I paid that 1% fee to Fundrise. So anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this portfolio update here. Let me know down in the comment section below if you want to see me do a quarterly update of this portfolio, or how often you guys want me to update you on the balance and the growth of this portfolio. Like I said, if you want to learn more about crowdfunded real estate investing, I have a free beginner's ebook down in the description below. And then, of course, if you do want to support me for putting this video together, you can feel free to use my link to sign up for Fundrise, where I will earn a small commission in the process, as I am affiliated with Fundrise. But thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.